So now we'll be classifying bacteria based on their mode of nutrition. So when you want to classify a bacteria based on mode of nutrition, they have three major classifications. They are saprophytic bacteria, parasitic bacteria, and symbiotic bacteria. Classifying bacteria based on mode of nutrition. We have three major classifications. The symbiotic bacteria, which is the Ribosium, Leguminosaurum, and leguminous plants. So you have your saprophytic bacteria, the saprophytic bacteria. You have your parasitic, and you also have your symbiotic. So now, when you want to talk about saprophytic bacteria, what are saprophytic bacteria? These are bacteria that feed on dead, decaying matter, right? They feed on dead, decaying matter. So they can even ask you which of the following is an example of a saprophytic bacteria. That's why you should be looking out for your Azotobacter and your Nitrobacter. Your Azotobacter and your Nitrobacter. These are saprophytic bacteria. So now, examples of your parasitic bacteria. If you are familiar with our germ theory in topic 1 that we just discussed, you know that all bacteria that causes disease, one disease or the other, they are all parasitic. Because for you to be a parasite, that means you live at the expense of your host, right? So these are bacteria that live at the expense of their host. And we have the like of your Treponema pallidum, your Salmonella typhi, your Mycobacterium tuberculosis, your Bacillus anthracis. There are many of them. Even your Vibrio chloridae, which causes cholera, is also a parasitic bacteria. So there are various examples for this one. Okay, these are bacteria that live at the expense of their host. They live at the expense of their hosts. And examples, we have a lot of them. We have the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. You have your Salmonella typhi, that causes typhoid fever, your Salmonella typhi. You also have your Treponema pallidum, which causes syphilis, your Treponema pallidum, which causes syphilis. There are many of them. You also have your Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera. Your Vibrio cholera. So there are various examples of parasitic bacteria. So now let's talk about the symbiotic bacteria. What's symbiotism? Well, symbiotism is a relationship where at least one of the organisms is benefiting, right? And there are various symbiotic relationships. So basically, an example of this symbiotic bacteria is your Ribosium leguminosaurum. And these are the ones you found in leguminous plants. So that's it. So when you want to classify bacteria based on their mode of nutrition, you have your saprophytic, your parasitic, your symbiotic bacteria. Now the next thing we're talking about is the shape, of which we've discussed earlier on in this video. So we've classified bacteria based on their shape. These are the major classification you need to know whenever you want to generally classify bacteria. Classify them based on their oxygen requirements, based on their shape, based on their mode of nutrition, based on their cell wall, which can also see in some textbooks as your Gram staining technique. So where they use make of your crystal violet and your safranin. I also know that you also need to know that for your Gram positive bacteria, their cell wall is made up of lipopolysaccharide and teichoic acid. While for your Gram negative bacteria, their cell wall is made of lipopolysaccharide, phospholipid, and one other component. So that's it. So your Gram positive, your Gram negative, making use of your crystal violet and your safranin.